All right, this is going to be hard to explain, but I want to try to explain it because God just basically told me how it worked, that how He found me, and it's basically what we call spirit guides. And I've already, for years I've tried to contact my spirit guide and all that kind of stuff like that, but I didn't understand how they worked. Basically, every different form of God has had a spirit guide. Some of the spirit guides are in the form of a dream they have over and over. Some of them are in the form of a person they see it like, wow, that seems like there's a guy I see all the time. And what's weird is I know exactly what. No, okay, I'm not even going to say it right now because it's pretty freaking crazy. Like I've had just about all of these things. Like in your dreams, you'll have, a bird, or like an Indian would notice it because they would meditate and they would find whatever they would meditate about, and there would always be something inspirational like an animal, because Indians were nature and like natural people that would think of nature and birds and deer and foxes and wolves. And when they would meditate and look for their spirit guide, it would end up being an animal because that's what they looked for. I mean, I know it sounds sort of simple to explain it that way, but that's how it worked. And then sometimes people would come back, and I know it sounds really weird, because there would be different ones that followed the same animals. But then after a while, there would be some people that would say, like, well, I can't follow the same spirit guide as someone else. So in their mind, without them knowing they thought it from their subconscious mind, it would give them something scary, so that somehow it would scare them to find another way. And they were supposed to find another way after that. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes we get scared from one thing and we go somewhere else and we notice something odd. And we notice deja vu. And whenever you notice deja vu, try to remember what that thing that is that you remember about that deja vu. Try to remember why you remember it. That's one of your keys. Every time you have a deja vu, that's one of your keys. Spirit guides don't have to be living things in spirit guide form. A spirit guide could be in your everyday presence. That's why people have trinkets that they like so well. And they're like, well, it's a superstition thing. It's not a superstition thing that they believe. It's just that their spirit guide might be the foot of a rabbit, not a rabbit. Their spirit guide might be, I know it sounds really weird, but their spirit guide might be, if you were a cell, okay, people aren't going to have these kind of spirit guides. There's got to be some kind of person who dreams about cells a lot. And his spirit guide is a cell spirit. It sounds sort of funny to say, but most people aren't going to have anything more less than a spirit guide, or else they'll see a spirit, or else they'll see a weird kind of monster in their dream, or they'll have nightmares. And then they'll take pills to try to make sure they don't have those nightmares, and whatever happens after they take those pills, whatever car crash they ran into the next person, whatever thing they were late for, due to those pills that was used to get rid of their nightmares, was the next part of their body's map, showing them their way to get to the divine frequency, or the God frequency. So spirit guides aren't what we thought they were, but at the same time they are what we thought they were. But the thing is, spirit guides can be very confusing until you tune in. The more people that are grounded, and the more you get grounded to the earth, because that's the original source we came from, you get back to the earth. It's one of the original sources that people started on. So like if the sun is where you go back to later, the earth is where you are the closest to the sun, because you're touching all those different blades of grass and all those different things that have absorbed sun. So you're still getting earth on you if you have a rock in your pocket. And that's why people started doing pet rocks, because they just made them feel better for some reason. Because at one point in time, people didn't even have any idea that earth had energy, or the earth has more energy than you think. That's where everything's coming from, to relay it from the sun to us. That's where it's coming from, the energy. I mean, yes, there's some in the air, but is the air not still part of the Earth's structure? I mean, the Earth is holding the sun's energy in its own ways, releasing it in its own ways, doing it all in its own ways. Like the aurora borealis is like the colors coming from the steam melting between the ice and the water. Think about it. Steam comes from when ice melts, and when water either gets too hot too fast or too cold in a hot area, or, you know what I mean? It gets steams. And it causes weird colored smoke, and sometimes when you get bubbles, they have them weird colors in them, and you don't know why. I'm like, I don't understand why there's weird colors in the bubbles. Well, let's just say, not even worry about the bubbles, I'm just trying to explain the colorization. But that's the color that the steam has from the aurora borealis. I know it sounds crazy, because I've never even been there, but I know that because I created it. I just said, God damn it, to God. How funny is that? I don't call him God anymore, but I'm saying God to refer to him. If that makes any sense. I don't even call him anything anymore because I just say you. I just say, hey, me, you, Dan. Or when I'm talking on the phone, I feel like saying God. But then when I start talking and I get emotional, I can hear my original mind behind the merged mind of me and God, because I have 49% that God can use and 51 that I can. I know it's a crazy thing, but it's really working the way I asked for, because I believed it. And now that I believed it, it is it. So I don't even have to try to believe it anymore. Just like someone said, that's a TV. I looked over and saw a TV and said, that's a TV. I believed it. So I don't have to worry that that's a TV anymore. Now that I've experienced feeling like God, I don't have to worry about experiencing it to know what it's like. So now I feel it. It's not going to change. Does that make sense? Start saying, I am God, and don't think it's ridiculous. Because what makes you a construction worker? And you say, I am a construction worker? You weren't one, and you thought it would have been silly until the day you became a construction worker. And you realize you are one, you have been doing construction worker type things, and now you're a construction worker. And when you say, I'm a construction worker, nothing, no matter how many people make fun of you, they say, you are not a construction worker. You're like, yeah, I am. I'm a construction worker. Look at me right here. I'm a construction worker. I'm doing it. I'm constructing. Well, I am God. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, no, you aren't. No, you aren't. No way. And I'm thinking, yeah, honestly, I am God, and I am Dan Alexander, because I've merged with God. And I know it because I've experienced the act of Godding. Okay? I know it's a funny way to put it, because I'm telling you, God has a sense of humor, and so do I. Because now we're the same being. The God that has gone around looking from the beginning of what we call time, or this from the beginning, from right now, from all the way back till a bagillion years ago. You can go back till however far you want your mind to stretch back in time in your mind, but you can't. That's why people are like, how many years ago? Like, 75 billion. 7,000 Google Gillion. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You can say how many years ago you wanted, because it's really just a concept. But since we're living in it second by second, we can't realize that it's a concept. You get that? I know. Anyway, I want to go and listen to some songs. I love you guys. This is pretty heavy stuff, and I just learned about why spirit guides are, and I left out the most nifty part. God itself, the frequency of God, was my spirit guide. And that's why I've seen them all. That's why I've had so many weird visions and dreams. Because, you know, when I was younger, I used to have dreams all the time. And the big dream was always my life. My life was my dream. Your life is a dream. Life is but a dream. And, you know, that was me reminding myself that life was one of my dreams. And once I discover what my dream meant, it meant what I wanted to be. Someone to save the world. So I left myself a song all those years ago. Life is but a dream. Paradise up above. You know, life is just a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello, yeah. Shaboop, shaboop, shaboop. You know, because I knew that would be something that would stick out to the guy who I could tap into and who could tap into me. I mean, God, he's doing it again. He's talking through me, and I'm sorry. Whew, wow, I can actually notice when this happens. That's how crazy this is. And eventually I'll be able to stop doing it at all. But it'll still be there. I'll just be not over, but I'll be merged with God. And I'll realize it, and I'll know that it scares people, and I'll stop doing it. But it's so still new. I mean, even though I've lived 1,000 eternities now, but it's still so new in my Dan Alexander body that it's still going to be a little shaky when I experience a new thing that God hasn't experienced through my body yet. He's going to be super excited, and so am I, because I'm getting to reenact it all over again with divine feeling and understanding how it goes and what it means and the purpose of it. Everything. It's so cool. Like something can set my mind into a tailspin to tell me a story, and I don't even know sometimes what set me in the tailspin anymore. It's like a memory of something, while my mind is going back in time to remember something. While going back in time and remember something, it saw a figure or something in the cloud in a memory, and that cloud in a memory triggered another memory from another memory. It's so crazy. It's so cool. Like, I have dimensional memories inside my dimensions. It's cool. Like, I can tap into each one and be like, what did this one do in this fake state? What did this one do in its real state? What did this one do in a dream? And I'll go into that dream of that one and be like, what did this mushroom inside this dream do? What is the cell of this mushroom feeling like? What is the cell of the feeling of that mushroom sounding like? what's that vibration? You know what I mean? It's like I can dig down to find the vibration with all the different little additives to the vibration on its way to me. See, I'm trying to explain it to you so that we can all learn how to read them. It's awesome, man. This is so cool. I'm actually learning how to explain it. All right, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. I really want to listen to a song and then nap for half an hour. It's only 20 minutes till I go into the place, and I want to nap for half an hour. So I know I'm not going to allow myself to do that, but I keep not allowing myself to sleep. But I have to, guys. I love you. I got to keep preserving my body. And I suggest you guys do, too. Love you. Bye.